We woke up this morning to over 3,200 Westies registered for this challenge.
There are so many great questions that you're asking in the event page. This is amazing because everyone can learn from reading each other's questions and the answers that we offer them. So you can really leverage each other's experience to create an even more rich learning environment.
And we are still trying our best to answer as many questions and videos as we can. And even though it's a lot of work, we're feeling so fulfilled doing what we do best.
Totally. Today in the Footwork Agility Challenge, we're going to be working on your foot speed and pivoting technique. So make sure that you're using all of the range of motion of your foot rolling and not being lazy, plopping your heels down or splatting your balls on the floor. So here's the video.
For day 3, and it's going to include an answer to the FAQ of how do I walk forward. It's going to also include some technique for that you need for the new drills coming up, your homework, and then a bonus clip at the end about some footwear ideas.
So enjoy, and we'll see you on the event page.
Here we're going to be talking about a refinement for walking forward versus rolling. So when we're going forward, we have the choice of just doing our standard walking heel strike, but the next level of that is to be able to go into a toe strike. So we want to avoid keeping our weight on the bent knees and looking like little baby dinosaurs. But realistically, that just ends up kind of looking more like this. Again, it's not really the baby dinosaur where you're on the balls of the feet, but it looks really prancy if I'm using an actual toe ball arch heel knee straight as I walk forward that way. So what we want to do is, if we're not going to do a heel straight, we're landing on the toe by projecting the leg first, but my heel lands before I take my weight. So I don't want to be shifting the weight over the ball and then rolling my foot down. So if I'm just walking forward like that, you're going to see that this way. Notice the leg is straight every time as my weight transfers over it. And we would use the same thing in a forward to back direction change. So I could be walking forward using a heel, but as soon as I want to do a direction change, I want to press into the toe, take the heel, and then back up. So again, I could be walking normal, walk, 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 toe project, come back, versus ball and bent legging, or trying to rock, walk, walk, and push off the heel to direct. So again, if I'm gonna go with toe, I'm gonna land extended leg, heel rolls down to the floor, then shift weight, or regular heel strike.
Hey challengers, welcome to day 3 of the Footwork Agility Challenge. We're super excited. You guys have got lots of momentum going. We're seeing lots of videos being posted of your practices. Today, what we're going to be focusing on is refining how to change directions more quickly. Yesterday, we were talking about how to slow yourself down. Now we're going to be talking about how to speed yourself up. Okay, so our drills for day 3 all involve working around a clock. So for the first try, what we're going to do is put all of our weight on our left foot, use our right foot for stepping. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a clock. What I'm going to do is use rolling technique to step on noon and 6 and 3 and 9. Then I'm going to work around the clock in different random directions. Now the size of my steps right now that I'm taking, I would consider to be medium. And you can do this on both sides using rolling technique both on your center foot and the moving around foot. Then I'm going to switch feet, do the same thing to make sure we're nice and balanced. And then what you're going to do next is do the same thing except with tiny little steps. So super small, tight footwork steps to make sure we're working on our agility underneath ourselves, keeping everything contained underneath the column of our hips. So to make the tiniest clock that you possibly can. Next, we're gonna do a nice big clock. So that means reaching out to the side, to noon, to 6, to 10, and making sure that you're using good quality foot rolling and never bringing your center all the way over top of that foot because your intention is to come back and change directions. So now what we're gonna do is get out of the middle of the clock and instead only dance on the numbers. So we're gonna do rolling steps on only numbers, which means that there's not going to be a center point anymore. We're gonna keep our head weight mostly in the center while our feet are moving around us. However, you'll notice in my medium-sized clock here that there might be a little bit of waddling in between. That's okay, just moving around a teeny bit as opposed to being dead still. What we don't want is you moving all the way over your foot every step you take, because remember, your intention is to go somewhere else on the clock. Now, rather than thinking like an athlete where you would have no problem leaving your feet outside your center all the time, there's some value in learning how to collect. But I don't want you to think of collecting like tango. I want you to imagine that every foot that comes back in has to come back underneath your hips before it goes somewhere else, as opposed to collecting all the way in order to step somewhere new. So every time I take a new step, my foot is going to come a little bit in before it goes out again, as opposed to all the way or waddling around like an athlete.
Good. All right, so the next phase of this drill is to make sure that we're doing the quick, quick, slow part. So we're just walking outside, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Trying to remember to bring our feet into the hip rather than staying outside the whole time.
Hi challengers, this is Tessa and Miles is right here. And
That was Juju.
That's Juju, one of our cats. We just wanted to answer some of your questions about pivoting and make sure that this is included in the clock drill because we have a bit of technique to show you. So first of all, it's really important that you're using your forefoot on the floor, not your heel, and letting that slip on the floor so that the movement is going to happen between your foot and the floor, not leaving your foot stuck to the floor and letting the movement happen in your ankle so your knee moves separately from your ankle. So we're going to engage the tibialis anterior right here, make sure everything is very integrated between your foot and your shin so that it moves all as one unit as opposed to trying to move separately. And when you do that, as soon as you take a step and go to pivot on your forefoot, you should be able to move your entire leg as opposed to putting your foot down and then trying to turn around but end up being pigeon-toed because this foot forgot to do its job and slip. And that on Miles with shoes on, that looks like this.
So in a good case, I'm stepping down into that, pivoting, stepping, pivoting. So I'm trying to keep that heel just off the floor. If I was going to redirect off of that, I would step through, pivot. And the other one that we want to watch is that when we're doing that pivot, if I'm changing direction through the pivot, so I step forward and I'm pivoting around here. Before I change directions, if I was going to come towards the camera, I do not put my weight onto my heel to come off of that. Off the pivot, you stay on the ball of the foot and drive off of. So we'll do that with a little less angle on it so you guys can see the texture. Boom. So I stay the entire time that I'm pivoting and driving on the ball of the foot.
So in my socks, just so you can see that would be wrong if you went roll onto the forefoot and then put the heel down to keep pivoting. Instead, you want to keep yourself on the forefoot the whole time while you're pivoting. So just to clarify, you are not going to roll a lot on your pivoting foot. You will roll to the ball and stay there. You wouldn't actually roll all the way through to a straight knee and try to turn on it.
Or roll all the way through to the straight knee and then try and come back off of it.
Mm-hmm. So the clock drill that's associated with this one will be standing in the middle with your forefoot and your heel slightly off the ground and being able to roll around the clock, different spots, letting your ankle be integrated and your heel not too high off of the floor. No reason to be in releve here. Okay, just a little bit so that you're able to integrate your leg to your foot and let your foot slip. Don't forget, we're showing you this in socks and shoes for clarity, but we'd prefer if you practice in your shoes that you will be dancing in. Okay, here's a tricky one. So this time we're going to do the clock drill where we're going around the numbers, except you're going to be landing on a number and staying put and then randomly deciding to quickly rush towards the next number. So right now I'm on 4 o'clock and I'm going to quickly decide, oh, I need to get to 10. So you can actually follow us as we're going to be playing the game of surprising ourselves by urgently needing to move off of that foot. So if I'm standing on 8 o'clock, I'm going to decide, oh, I need to get to 3. And in order to react that quickly, what I'm doing is I'm engaging my core, specifically my groin and my pelvic floor, to be able to activate pressure into the floor, sending energy up my leg to move my core. And when I do that and maintain my pitch, I should be able to push off the floor pretty quickly. Try not to have any kind of delay that looks like this, but instead, nice and strong, pushing on a diagonal edge into the floor so that you can get to that next step. And when you arrive there, use those slowing down techniques in order to arrive there calmly, as opposed to panic.
And it's really fun if you can have a buddy do the calling out, because then it's truly random. So if she's on the clock, I'm just gonna say 2, 7, 9, 1.
Like Twister.
7.
So like Twister, it's kind of fun to be able to give yourself a last minute decision. You can do this for yourself, or you can have someone else call it out for you in order to increase the surprise factor. Okay, for your homework this week, what we want to see is your clock drills. Small, medium, large, being able to keep your head weight in the middle so you can change directions. Maybe giving yourself a deadline or having a buddy be able to shout out their numbers at you really quickly. So we're looking for the clock drill, controlling your speed, giving yourself some urgency, arriving without panic, and making sure that you're collecting your feet underneath your hips before moving somewhere else. So your other homework is going to be an article link that's inside of the email. You can see it's 10 reasons you get off time and the #1 way to fix it. And if you happen to be able to have a buddy around you for day 4, it would be helpful, but it's not necessary. So you don't need a partner, just a buddy, as in like a daughter or a son or a grandma that's next to you. It doesn't have to be a dancer, just a buddy. So if it's possible, that would be cool, but if not, no problem. You can still do all the drills without one. So that'll be Miles and Tessa signing off. We look forward to seeing you on day 4.
Keeping it clean.
Be sure to track your points using the tracker that we sent via the email so that you have a chance to win some of the prizes, or even the grand prize, which is the $1,500 Dancer Development Program from Swing Literacy. Good luck and break a leg. Well, don't really break a leg, but good luck. So here's a little optional section. You do not have to listen to this. What I'm going to be talking about is footwear. So something that really affects a lot of dancers negatively is when they don't actually are wearing the right footwear, or what they're doing is they're not dancing properly for their footwear. So what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to warm up my break in my shoes. What I was wearing today was these booties, thanks to Suede, thanks to Bella Veramontes for the Suede shoes that she got. And I love these because I can point my toe. They're super, super bendy and squishy. Keep my feet warm because my feet tend to get really cold. And I can really feel the floor. So this is my shoe of choice at the moment. And I just got brand new sandals from Shoes by Stefan. I'm super excited about these. These are super strappy. But I want to show you how I actually break these in. And I've had a lot of dancers, they buy new shoes and then they feel like they can't dance anymore because they forgot one crucial step. You want to treat this shoe like it's a baseball glove or like a ballet slipper. Well, we need to actually break it. So this is the first time I'm doing this with these shoes. They're brand new, they smell awesome. So I'm going to actually curl this and really basically beat new wrinkles into the leather so that my shoe will flex more as though I've been wearing it for a couple of months. So I'm going to break it in all different kinds of places and squish it, like just go to town. And don't worry, it's really durable. I mean, think about how long you've been dancing in your current shoes and how long it took them to get soft. So try that and then do one shoe at a time and notice the difference between them, and you'll see an instant difference in how much you can manipulate through your foot and feel that rolling once you've actually broken in your shoes. Highly recommend it.
Just showing you guys my dance sneaker here and about breaking them in. Always make sure that you're looking for a sneaker or a shoe that is very bendable in the beginning. These shoes are super flexible, but any shoe I buy, I sit there and bend the crap out of them right behind the ball of the foot as much as possible, and squeezing them in this way to really loosen up the sole of any shoe.